I'm learning that God allows us to go through many different kinds of trials, only to show His faithfulness to us in ways that I still marvel.
I have an amazing example of God's provision. Happened last week. I had picked up a pair of shoes at a thrift shop, and when I was looking at them more closely, I found $40 stuffed in the toe. God just always knows the right time to provide and what we need.
Yes, I had a school bill to pay this past semester that I wasn't expecting to be as much as it was, and I filled out a renewal for a scholarship that I've been able to use for the last few years, and the scholarship committee was gracious enough, and God was gracious enough to see fit for them to give me $1,000 towards that school bill. So that's my story of how God's provided for me lately.
One of the many provisions of God for me is when in deep pain, He touches a desire He's placed in my heart with a blessing that refocuses my heart on His mercy and love.
I need to add something to my story of God's provision, and that has to do with the kindness and generosity of my family. And without their giving, I would have had a huge bill at Taylor. And because of what they did and because of the money I got from that scholarship, I have a zero balance with the business office, and I'm finishing up school with no loans, no debts whatsoever, and that is solely because of God's provision through my family and through people I don't even know at the Somerville Scholarship.
Do not fret when men succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. It was so hard for me to believe that people could do such evil things. And I was really sure that I was the only person in the whole world who had ever experienced anything similar to this passage of Scripture. But then the Lord took me halfway around the world to find a missionary who was suffering with a very similar experience. And as we exchanged details, we were both incredibly moved by the similarities in our stories. We both had suffered in ways most people could only imagine, but yet we marveled at the way in which God so lovingly brought us together, and through the pain and through the tears helped bring healing to each of us. So often I think about God's provisions, I think about financial aspects. I don't really think maybe so much of the other aspects. But this was just another way in which God provided.